everyone, and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I'm going to do it just a little bit different. Yes, I am going to talk about an album, hence the title of this series. But I'm also going to talk about a little, I think it's arrogant to call it a review when people say it's a review. But I am, in addition to talking about the album, I'm going to talk about a concert that this band did. This band is called Dirty Sound Magnet. And the album that I'm going to talk about is called Dreaming in Dystopia. It's their most recent album. And I saw them in Mexico City a couple of days ago. So I'm going to talk about the concert, and then I'm going to get to the record. And I've got the record right here, in case you're wondering what it looks like. If you follow this channel, I know there are not too many people who watch these videos, but I would bet almost anything you don't know this band. I'd never heard of them until recently. Which brings me to my next point. You know, when I do these episodes, I always talk about, especially when it's the first time of me talking about a band, I talk about my history of the band, how long I've been listening to them, how I get into them, and things like that. This Dirty Sound Magnet is for sure the most recent band that I've ever talked about. I'd never heard them until January. I think it was in the first of the year. The first week of the year, and I think this whole thing, before I get to the record, that's going to be the long part, or the what do you say, the crux of this episode. The album is kind of secondary, but in early January, a friend of mine who you may know, Adriana, who she's been in my last couple of El Chopo videos, not the most recent one, but I did one in January and one in February. Was she in? She's been in my last three of my last four, not the one that I did 2 days ago or yesterday. Anyway, Adriana sent me a message and she said, "Hey, do you know Dirty Sound Magnet?" And I said, "I think I've heard the name, but I don't know. I don't really know them." And she said, "Well, they're playing in Mexico. Do you want to go?" And so I listened to them just quickly. And I said, "Yeah, it sounds like a good band." It's because she's told me about a lot of bands that I think the most recent one was a band called 2 Feet. And I think they played in Mexico recently. And she, asked me if I wanted to go, I think, or if I liked them, and I listened and I said, "Nah, it's not for me." But I did like Dirty Sound Magnet. DSM, if you're pressed for time and you're really in a hurry and you don't have time, or you don't have the energy to say Dirty Sound Magnet, it's 5 syllables, it's far too long for some people. You can say DSM and save yourself 2 syllables and many seconds. So I said, yes, I do like Dirty Sound Magnet. They sound pretty good. I think I'd heard the name before, because I know they played in Mexico last year, and I have some friends who, maybe had posted about them or something. So I said, yeah, I'll go. And tickets were only 300 pesos, which is incredible. Exciter, I would even say legendary speed metal band from Canada, they're playing here this week. Tickets are 900 pesos. Dirty Sound Magnet, or DSM, was 300 pesos. So that's cheaper. Fast math will tell you that 300 is cheaper than 900. And just for comparison's sake. So I thought, yeah, it's on a Friday night. I can stay overnight, go to El Chopo the next day, which I did, and see a new band and have a good time and everything. And so I said, yes, I will go. So she bought the tickets in January. And then so I went to the concert a couple days ago. It was on Friday. Where can I begin here? I'll tell you about my whole experience with this. I got there. Now, something that bothers me about concerts in Mexico is, depending on the venue or the status of the band, they just say it's at 8 o'clock. Now, this was at a venue called HDX Circus Bar. I'd only been there once before. I saw Exciter there. Briefly, a short time ago, I mentioned Exciter. And I saw them there a couple of years ago, and I thought that venue sucked. I thought everything was disorganized. Was started very, very late. The venue itself was not good. All they had was Carta Blanca beer. They didn't have juice. They didn't have soda. They didn't have Gatorade. They didn't have mixed drinks. They didn't have alcohol. They didn't have wine. They didn't have Spritzer. They didn't have Monster Energy drink. They didn't have Red Bull. They didn't have Gatorade. They didn't have electrolytes. They didn't even have water, for God's sakes. All they had was beer and Carta Blanca beer. And I didn't like that. But I thought I'll go anyway. But this concert said, Dirty Sound Magnet, DSM, it said, starting at 8 o'clock. And what does that mean? Does it mean the doors open at 8? Does it mean the first band plays at 8? Does it mean Dirty Sound Magnet plays at 8? I don't know. It just says 8 o'clock. nothing else. Now, me being Canadian, or maybe it's just me, I like getting there early. I like, especially if it's for a concert like this, I like being at the front, even if it's a band I don't know. You know, I'm not going to pay double the price to be up at the front. But I really like it. If it's easy enough to do, I'll do it. And so I took off work a couple of hours early on Friday. My car, you may know, is not allowed in Mexico City on Friday, so I had to take a bus there. Took the bus there, took 2 trains, walked to my hotel, checked in my hotel, got back on the train, went there, got there a little bit before 6 o'clock. Now I was thinking, you know, if it says 8 o'clock, maybe the first band plays at 8, so I thought, okay, I'll get there at 6 o'clock. Adriana she was busy. She was gonna meet me there later. So I got there a little bit before 6 o'clock. One other guy in line. He was the guy I ended up talking to and spending some time with until Adriana came and kept me company. So this guy's name was Oscar. I don't know if he's gonna watch, but if he does, hello, Oscar. And so he was there before me, and so we waited in line, and then Adriana came. Now, Adriana knows the guy, his name is Antonio, who was, I don't know if he was organizing the whole tour or just the Mexico City show, but he was working with the band, and I guess I don't think he works for the venue. And so she knows this guy. I guess they were friends, so she texted him, and he said, you know what, you can, he was there at the venue. He said, come in, you can come in and you can say hello. So he came down and he took us, and I brought Oscar inside, because there were only 3 of us at that point. And so we went upstairs to the venue and we met them. It's Stavros, the singer-guitarist, Marco, the bass player, and Maxim is the drummer. And we met them, talked to them, very nice, and had a good little visit with them, a couple minutes. Then we went back and waited outside. And then I guess it was around 8 o'clock when the doors opened. There was an opening band who I didn't even know, or didn't even know that they were playing. They were called, I was going to say Dirty Swine, Little Swine. They're from Guadalajara, Mexico. And then Dirty Sound Magnet played at, I remember the times. Little Swine played from 9 until about 9:40. Dirty Sound Magnet, it was very, very quick turnover. They played at 9:50. And they played for over 2 hours, which I love. And to me, it's not a long concert. To me, that should be standard. But it was, a lot of bands only play an hour and 20, an hour and a half, which for me is a little bit short. But 2 hours was great, and they did play a little bit over 2 hours. The great thing about this was they professionally filmed and recorded it for, I guess, an upcoming. I don't know if bands actually release physical CDs anymore or DVDs, but they said they were recording it professionally, video and audio, so I guess that'll be upcoming at some point. Yeah, but it was good. And oh my God, now, this is a band I'd never heard of until a couple of months ago, and I'm still not familiar with. I've never heard a note other than this album, Dreaming in Dystopia, and I've listened to this in full about I think it's been maybe 3 or 4 times in full. When I go out to exercise, I listen to it, and I did when I listened to it today. I had to, if I'm going to talk about it, I had to write some notes because I have to at least pretend to know what I'm talking about. So considering that it was a new band, at least for me, a new band. I like this concert a lot. It was really, really good. A lot of people have the attitude of, whether it's a new band or an old band, but they play new music or they don't play their classics, and they say, I've never heard of them, never heard this album, never heard that. I don't want to go, I'm not interested. I'm the opposite. I like I'm very open to new bands and new music, despite my, I'm an old guy. I'm 54 years old, and a lot of people my age, they only want to go and see the hits. They want to see, Guns N' Roses. They want to see Paradise, or hear Paradise City and Welcome to the Jungle and Sweet Child Mine. They don't care about the General or Better or whatever those Hard School, all those new Guns N' Roses songs. And but I like seeing new bands, and I'm very, very happy that I went to see this show. This band is amazing live. Now, I was supposed to see Danko Jones about a month ago. That was on February 17th, also with Adriana. Now, this was the opposite. I had asked her, do you want to go see Danko Jones? She had never heard of him or them. And she checked them out. She said, yeah, I'll go see Danko Jones. So I bought tickets, and I had a dental emergency the night before, and I couldn't go. I was warned that my life would be at risk if I traveled and if I went to a concert. So I didn't go to Danko Jones, but Adriana went. And she said before, she said, yeah, I don't really... and by the way, Danko Jones tickets were 150 pesos. Exciter, again, is 900. 30 Sound Magnet is 300. So Danko Jones for 150 pesos. And I'm not a big fan either, but I thought I like him well enough that I'll go check him out. And Adriana said the same thing. So I didn't go. Adriana went in my stead. I think that's what they say, right? In my stead. She went in my stead, and she said she liked a lot. She said she doesn't really like his music, but she said live he was fantastic. Dirty Sound Magnet, I do like their music, at least this one record that I've heard. And I know this is long, and nobody, I could say anything at this point, and nobody would know. But oh man, I like their music, but amazing live. They're one of the bands that I think a lot of bands that you see, there's often one guy when you see them live that you kind of focus on. He's more entertaining or more expressive or just more, I don't know, captivating, compelling, something. Or there's, maybe one guy that you don't really pay attention to. All three of these guys in Dirty Sound Magnet were, very, very just fun to watch live. I think collectively as a band, they seem to really, really, really enjoy playing live, almost as much as any band I've ever seen. And to put it into context, I think I've been to somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 concerts. My first one was, next month is the 40th anniversary of me going to my first concert. That was Ozzy on April 25th, 1984. And I'm not flexing. People like to say flexing. I'm not flexing. I'm just, to give it some context, I've been to many concerts. And this was, these guys are really, really, really good players. And I think it's also stupid and unfair that we as fans, we say, they're really talented or this band is not talented. And unless you play, and I don't, who are we to judge talent? But these guys seem really, really talented, and more than that, seemed really into it. Perfect, flawless. Now I don't know their music so much, but they're just so tight. A lot of eye contact, and their music seems kind of complex. I think there were a lot of little breaks and jams, and they extended songs, and they just played, and just I really, really, really liked this concert. I thought it was a great show. I hope they can come back again to Mexico. I don't think they've ever toured the States. Maybe some of you, if anybody's watching, maybe some of you are American. I don't think they've played the States. Maybe one or two. I think they played in New York a couple weeks ago, just one show, but they've never toured the States. And I'm getting way off topic now. But I like this concert a lot. They also are a little bit more, not a little bit, I would say they're more, this album that I'm going to talk about at some point, Dreaming in Dystopia, maybe we can call it DID. DSM, their album is DID. And they're a little bit, they rock more, I guess is the best way to say it live. This album, Dreaming in Dystopia, it's very kind of, it's mellow, dreamy, ethereal. I hate that word, but I know some people use it. But live, their songs are a little bit punchier. I think, as I said, they rock more. The crowd was really into it, great crowd. And I'm very happy that I went and experienced some great new music, and I hope to see them again. And here's they had these little flyers they were giving out in addition to the merch. So it's just this is like a little promo thing, saying how great they are. A little PR kit. And there's their tour dates. They played from January 25th through February 23rd. They played all through Europe and Germany. Oh my God, a bunch of shows in Germany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shows just in Germany. By the way, I should have mentioned this band is from Switzerland. These guys they're Swiss. And then they played in Basel. What is CH? They played whatever CH in Basel, Fribourg, Lucerne. And it says the country is CH. That looks like Czech Republic, but I think Basel is Switzerland, no? I'm not sure. Maybe I need to brush up on my geography. And then they played, it's very strange here, one show in Budapest, Hungary, and then New York, And then they played 7 shows in Mexico. They played Monterrey, the big 3, Monterrey, Guadalajara, Mexico City, and León, Querétaro, Toluca, Puebla. Very, very proper tour, 7 shows in Mexico. Actually, right now, as I speak, it's Sunday, they're playing in Toluca. And then they're off this summer and they're playing in Paris. I believe that's in England, I think. Paris, England. Very famous city. And where else? Luxembourg. Looks like a bunch of shows. Looks like 8 or 9 shows in Netherlands. Back to Germany for 1 show in Berlin. They're playing a show in ES, which I know is España. That's, you might know it as Spain. Very interesting tour routing. Yeah, so there it is. That's what they look like, if you're wondering. So very, very cool show. I'm very happy I went. I think that's all. I think I can talk about the record now. And, no. Before I do, something that was really cool. Oh, how could I forget this? They did, there's a song on this record on Dreaming in Dystopia called Flowers, Angels, and Chaos. And when I was talking to them before the show, I was talking to Stavros, the singer, and we were talking about that song, or I said something about that song, and that's my favorite on the album. And I mentioned it to him, and I was talking about it, and he said, you know what? He said, and they changed their set every night, which I really appreciate. And he said, you know what? We've played that every night, but it didn't make it in the set list tonight. So I said, oh, well, it's okay. And then when they played, I guess it was about maybe the 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th song, he started to introduce, and he said, this next song, he said, it's from our new album. And then he saw me, I was in the very front row, and he pointed to me, and he said, this song is about, and he started to explain the song, and I thought, wow, they're going to play Flowers, Angels, and Chaos. And yes, it was. So that was, I guess, I don't know if it wasn't dedicated to me, but I guess he or they, I guess, decided to do it maybe because I asked. And then when I talked to him after the show, I said, oh, that was so cool that you played it, thanks. And he said they just added that 2 minutes before they went on stage. They said, yeah, let's play it. So that was very cool to hear Flowers, Angels, and Chaos. Loved it. So now I can talk about the record. If I have anything left in the tank. So there's no hype sticker on here. There it is. So I can open it right up and save you the time of hearing me read a hype sticker. I got to be careful when I open these things. It is a gatefold. All right. Oh, no. Oh, I got to go back a little bit. Yeah, I think I can get it. I think I can. There we go. All right. All right. I'll put that there. And there's the back of it. Something kind of, I guess, different about this is on this, the record, there are 9 tracks, as you can see. I've been listening to the digital version of it. I downloaded this when when Adriana first told me about them. And there's an extra track in here which is interlude. The digital version, I guess, doesn't have an interlude. I'm guessing it's probably like an instrumental filler, I guess, let's call it. It's the first track on side B, and the track order is different too. Mostly the same, but a few differences. I'll be talking about the digital version rather than the actual record. So let me see what this looks like. All right, what is this? Oh, okay. I'm not sure what this is, but it sure is colorful. And it says the meaning behind, and I haven't seen this, the meaning behind Dirty Sound Magnet. It says the magnet is a symbol, and I'm learning this myself too. The magnet is a symbol of the invaluable bond that unites Marco, Maxim, and myself. This is obviously Stavros that wrote it. It's the flow of energy that circulates between us and extends to our beloved audience. Sound is the divine element that binds the 3 of us together. Music is the driving force behind the magnet. Whenever we play together, something magical happens in the moment that is fueled by all the music we've ever listened to and all the sounds we've ever created together. Music elevates you, gives you love, passion, and beauty. And then dirty stands for the cleansing power of music. Here's an allegory to exemplify this thought. Let's call it the dirty man in the river which I guess is what this gatefold is. And there's some more stuff here. I won't read that. Oh, there's something about during the pandemic we recorded 3 albums. Blah blah blah. So this is their 4th album, and I didn't mention the kind of music that they play. And it's not really the kind of music that I typically listen to. It's kind of, at least this album, and I don't know what their other records sound like, although I got I guess a taste of some of their stuff when I saw them live the other night. The last song they did in the main set on Friday was it was called Cash Cow Superstar. And by the way, I took a couple of videos that night. Cash Cow Superstar was one, and Lonely Bird from this album was another one. And Cash Cow Superstar, I listened to it yesterday. It's like 3 minutes. It's like 2:45 or 2:55 or something. When they did it live, it was I think it was around 10 minutes. So and Stavros told me after that the way that they play it live now is totally different. It's morphed into a completely different song. So their music is kind of quirky, weird, a little bit mellow, kind of just odd kind of music. Not the kind of music that I normally listen to, but I do like it. All right, and let me look at the actual record. All right. Oh, cool. It's got. I've always, I say this every time. Give me the lyrics and give me something. Give me a picture, or pictures, a collage, or something. So there's the lyrics to the songs on here. Yeah. No lyrics for interlude. So interlude, I guess, is just I'm guessing just an instrumental filler. All right. So getting to the record now, the first song, and I got to go to my notes here too. The first song is called Melodies from Distant Shores. It's a very different song very different opener from the music I normally listen to. I've been a metalhead since 1976, I guess. If you call it Kiss metal, but this song, Melodies from Distant Shores, it's very different than the typical album openers that I listen to that are, energetic and up tempo and get up and let's go, here's the record, here's the song. It's different. It is kind of, again, I don't like the word, I'm not even sure if I know what it means, but ethereal, quirky, weird. It feels kind of natural. It feels I don't know, like you should be on acid, maybe in a forest somewhere. But I like that this has it's a very melodic and very quiet song. And I like the what is the, I don't know if it's a chorus, don't, and I hate singing, but don't you see, don't you feel, don't you, and then da 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 da, very catchy. These kind of the there's some backing vocals in this that sound very almost chanty, childlike, high, very cool. Yeah, but then the don't you see, don't you feel, da 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 da. I like that song a lot. Good one. Melodies from Distant Shores. And I'm not going to have too much to say about this because I've only listened to it a few times. Hence the notes. Next one is the title track, Dreaming in Dystopia. The very opening, and I guess throughout the song, opening notes of this song, totally, I don't know if the band is aware of this. I'm sure somebody must have told them. It really sounds like These Days by Foo Fighters. Yeah, and that kind of carries through the song. That's a good song. Next is The Tragedy of Men. This I like this song. This about a minute or two, maybe a minute and a half into the song. There's kind of became a little bit more up tempo. Had kind of a jam rock, flangey guitar sound to it. Good song too. Next is Lonely Bird. I mentioned that they played that when I saw them. This one I remember the intro had kind of like they call it math rock, like Tiny Moving Parts, who I kind of like, and maybe I don't know who else is like that. But the beginning of this song of Lonely Bird, to me, I guess, is math rock, and I'm not sure if I know what math rock is, but if it's what I think it is, the intro to Lonely Bird kind of reminded me of that. The next song is Utopia. Now, this is one. This is I mentioned Flowers, Angels, and Chaos is my favorite musically, and probably overall it is. But Utopia was the first one that caught my attention. lyrically, this is a great song. It's a really weird, the it's not really spoken word. It feels kind of herky jerky. The lyrics, there's not really a melody to it, but and I don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but the lyrics just don't match up with the music. But it works. It really caught my attention. I think lyrically, this is about like maybe I don't know, like a contradiction or duality of two things. The opening line is, if my name were Satan, I would kiss you all, but my name is God and I will kill you all. And they talk about government and, I guess like a contrast. But if I were a killer, but I'm not a killer, I'm a consumer. If I were a prisoner, but I'm not a prisoner, I'm a free man. What was the other one? A dead man and a young student. And a whore. What was the other one? A famous star or a lonely whore, something like that. Unknown whore, lonely whore, something like that. Another one here. Killer and a terrorist. And this also had those same kind of high chanting, choir-like backup vocals as Melodies from Distant Shore. Yeah, but Utopia was the one that first caught my attention. Next is Flowers, Angels, and Chaos. That's the one I talked about. For me, this is the most the most melodic. I was humming and whistling it to myself all day when I saw them on Friday. That's a good song. Flowers, Angels, and Chaos. At least at this point, is my favorite. And I don't know the lyrics, but I know the melody is da 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 and it's a vocal there. He's not saying da 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 like he is in Melodies from Distant Shore. Let's do it in the car, something like that. Da 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 da. And then the guitar, this kind of jangly guitar. I'm so bad sometimes at talking about music. I wish I could express myself in the same way that I feel and that I love about music. I feel that I really can't express myself. I just want to say I love it. Next, and only 9 songs if you include the interlude. Next song is Lost My Mind. It's a good song. There's just nothing really to say about that one. And the last song is Insomnia. This song is 8 or 9 minutes or something, and I've mentioned before how much I generally love long songs, especially when there's all kinds of different parts. Not long like some of those, Iron Maiden songs are long, and I love Iron Maiden, but some of their long songs are just unnecessarily long. They just repeat. But songs like How Many More Times by Led Zeppelin, Master of Puppets, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, I know those songs that kind of, it sounds cliche, but they take you on a trip. They take you on a journey, and that's what Insomnia is here. So it's kind of, for the first, a couple of minutes, it's kind of mellow, quiet, and then it there's kind of another minute or two that seems kind of like an interlude that kind of joins the two parts of the song together. And then at maybe 3.5 or 4 minutes, the song, I feel, really kind of picks up steam. There's some wailing guitar in that song, just going throughout, kind of driving the song. And then in the lyrics, there's something about, towards the end of the song, there's something about, he mentions distant shores and melody, and the first song on the album is Melodies from Distant Shores. So without knowing the lyrics, I don't know if this is supposed to be a concept album or if the first song and the last song are tied together. I don't know, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into this and see if there's a concept or read the liner notes or something. But I found that the lyrics, or at least the song title from the first one, Melodies from Distant Shores, and then he talks about Melodies and Distant Shores in the lyrics of the last song, Insomnia. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So that's it. Those are the 8 songs, 9 songs if you include the interlude. And another great thing about this album is, I've talked before about, God, these albums are so long these days, unnecessarily long. I don't think this is any more than 40 minutes. I think it might even be 36 or 37 minutes. I think most songs are in the 3 to 4 minute range, except for Insomnia, which is, and it's orange vinyl. Look at that. I didn't realize that. Oh, look at that. Looks like orange Gatorade in vinyl form. Yeah, these songs, does it have the running time on them? Most songs are, yeah, I guess in the 4-minute range. No, it doesn't say on here. Made in Belgium. All right. So there we go, and there you have it. Dirty Sound Magnet. I hope I can get into these guys more. Like I said, it's not normally my music, but just proof that man, go see a band live that you've never seen before. Who cares if you've never heard them before? Who cares if you only like their old stuff? Go see them. Yeah, very cool. So I know nobody is really watching at this point, but if you do, it's strongly suggested that when they're playing these shows in Europe coming up or wherever they play, I don't like recommending it. Just because I like it doesn't mean that you will. But I liked it a lot, and there you go. Good album, and just an incredible live band. The band is called Dirty Sound Magnet, and this album is called Dreaming in Dystopia.